For me, I mean, since being 8 years old and being brought up through the 60s, and space was sort of promised to all of us. Some of us, you know, who loved the idea of being an astronaut, thought that we all would. And of course that hasn't really happened up to now. On the more sort of metaphysical side of it, I want to understand more. I think we live in an amazing world, and sometimes we don't quite, because we're on it and we're immersed in it, it's very difficult to get the bigger picture of it.
Are you one of those people who sometimes looks at the space station as it passes over? You can see it as a tiny little dot sometimes.
Occasionally I've seen it, yes, and it's amazing because it's falling round the Earth, of course, so it's a beautiful thing.
You've had to go through psychological testing for this, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
And you've come through with flying colours.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people must say she's mad, but officially you're not mad, obviously.
Well, no. Well, the thing about this is that the people that go up, then there's no way that anybody's crazy, because we're all tested and we're all human beings, and we sort of, anybody that wants to go has a sort of common bond with everyone else in this. And it was actually good to know that I wasn't crazy in any way whatsoever.
Have you looked at the statistics about fatality rates of the era of people going into space?
Not particularly.
I mean, I can tell you what they are, because they're
yes.
not uninteresting. I mean, I'm not trying to
Right.
put you off, but about 536 people have been into space, which is more than most people realise.
Yes.
It's a lot of people have been up.
Yes, but that's been over a long period of
decade,
time.
Yeah, and
yes.
about 18 have died. So it's a sort of 3% rate.
Right.
That probably overestimates it, because you're doing a rather routine flight, and of course
I don't go there because this is something I feel very confident. And the thing is, if anything was to happen, I wouldn't know much about it anyway.
No.
And you know, I know that everything that I would leave behind, and I've lived an amazing life. And for me, the need and the desire to go is much stronger than worrying about any of that.
And you did love it as a child, and I mean, I know it's rather obvious, but you fell in love with the Starship Trooper. I mean, was there something about the whole Starship Trooper, your love of space at the time?
That was a more sort of fun aspect of it. There's obviously been a wonderful sense of humour about space, because I think it's such an extraordinary thing, and at that time it was, although an extraordinary event like, you know, the first men landing on the moon, it was still something that was very far away from us.
Tell me, Captain Strange, do you feel my devotion? Or are you like a droid, divide out in motion? Encounters 1 and 2 are not enough for me. What my body needs is close encounter 3.
Let's talk about what you're going to do, because you're going to sing when you're up there. Does the voice work as well when you're up there?
Well, I have. It's going to be different, obviously, because the way that our mucus system works is for us living in the gravity that we do. And so it doesn't stop working when you're in microgravity. So what happens is the fluids go up from your legs and they actually go into your face. And up there, everything has a completely different feeling. So any movement you make, the most subtlest movement, you will move this way or you'll move that way. And although you could put your feet in straps on the ground, just the whole idea of singing, and because it's a physical movement, you have to be, it's different.
There's a history, though, of music in space, isn't
yes,
there? I think
there is.
December 65,
yes.
Gemini 6, they sung Jingle Bells.
That's right. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't think people will mind. It's just
I suspect not.
I'm showing. It's like somebody that's doing an experiment up there, and I'm sure it will be fine. It won't be perfect, but it doesn't matter.
Are you going to try something ambitious that involves really?
Not particularly, no. If there's any ambition in the song, it will be done on Earth, and I'll come out with very simple lines. I don't want to stress myself too much, because I'm only up there for 10 days, and apparently it takes a good 7 to get used to it, because you're very befuddled, and everyone has to help you. So, and obviously I don't want to put too much stress on the cosmonauts up there as well. So I want to do it as simply as I can, and that will be my message.
to see.